ample answers as well. Many thanks to Professor Morrow for convincing me and Hackett Publishing Company of the need for and appeal of such a textbook, and then doing the lion's share of the work on it, carrying it now through 2 editions, first edition 2013, second edition 2016. David's insights and suggestions have helped shape this new edition of Rulebook as well. Among related changes is that a few of the more challenging examples and themes in previous editions of Rulebook, most notably philosopher David Hume's challenges to some of the usual arguments for the existence of God, are migrating to Workbook, where they can be treated in more depth. In many ways, Workbook is a natural follow-up to Rulebook, even if you are not in a class that requires it. We hope you will have a look. By now, it is a long list of colleagues, students, family members, and friends who have contributed thoughts, suggestions, or provocations to this and previous editions of Rulebook. This time around, I would like to single out Deborah Wilkes, president and publisher, and her colleagues at Hackett Publishing Company, whose stalwart support and gentle encouragement have made both Rulebook and Workbook continuously enjoyable and superlatively produced projects. My continuing gratitude to you all. Anthony Weston, July 2017. Introduction. What's the point of arguing? Many people think that arguing is simply stating their prejudices in a new form. This is why many people also think that arguments are unpleasant and pointless. One dictionary definition for argument is disputation. In this sense, we sometimes say that two people have an argument, a verbal fist fight. It happens often enough, but it is not what arguments really are. In this book, to give an argument means to offer a set of reasons or evidence in support of a conclusion. Here, an argument is not simply a statement of certain views, and it is not simply a dispute. Arguments are efforts to support certain views with reasons. Arguments in this sense are not pointless. In fact, they are essential. Argument is essential in the first place because it is a way of finding out which views are better than others. Not all views are equal. Some conclusions can be supported by good reasons. Others have much weaker support. But often we don't know which are which. We need to give arguments for different conclusions and then assess those arguments to see how strong they really are. Here, argument is a means of inquiry. Some philosophers and activists have argued, for instance, that the factory farming of animals for meat causes immense suffering to animals and is therefore unjustified and immoral. Are they right? We can't necessarily tell just by consulting our current opinions. Many issues are involved. We need to examine the arguments. Do we have moral obligations to other species, for instance, or is only human suffering really bad? How well can humans live without meat? Some vegetarians have lived to very old ages. Does this show that vegetarian diets are healthier? Or is it irrelevant when you consider that some non-vegetarians also have lived to very old ages? You might make some progress by asking whether vegetarians live to old age at a higher rate. Or might healthier people tend to become vegetarians rather than vice versa? All of these questions need to be considered carefully, and the answers are not clear in advance. Argument is essential for another reason, too. Once we have arrived at a conclusion that is well supported by reasons, we use arguments to explain and defend it. A good argument doesn't merely repeat conclusions. Instead, it offers reasons and evidence so that other people can make up their minds for themselves. If you become convinced that we should indeed change the way we raise and use animals, for example, you must use arguments to explain how you arrived at your conclusion. That is how you will convince others, by offering the reasons and evidence that convinced you. It is not a mistake to have strong views. The mistake is to have nothing else. Argument grows on you. Typically, we learn to argue by assertion. That is, we tend to start with our conclusions, our desires or opinions, without a whole lot to back them up. And it works sometimes, at least when we're very young.